Everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Handy Mandy TV, and this week we're going to be doing some macrame, mini macrame, or also known as micro macrame. I had a whole bunch of videos that I did last summer and they went over really well, but unfortunately I had not grasped the quality of the video and making sure that you guys saw the details really well. So I will be doing some of those old videos, and one of them was this bracelet right here. And this is an 8-strand beaded micro macrame bracelet, and I will show you guys how to do that. And so I'll alternate between doing some old videos and doing some new ones, so new bracelets types and stuff, because I have a buttload of beads. So if there's any videos that you guys have seen that you want me to redo, please leave your comments below on that video or this video, and let me know if you guys want me to redo it, because for some reason the quality is not good and you can't see the details. You guys want something a little bit more up close and more detailed, or for whatever reason. So I'm totally open to that. I'm still learning. So I've been doing a lot of renovations, so that's one series, but we kind of working on some other stuff like vertical garden and planting around the house. So I've done some of that. So we got some wall panels, some full wall panels behind me, and but I'm just taking a little break so that I can do the stuff that you guys want, because I'm already doing this for my house, so I'm going to document it. But if you guys want certain stuff, you guys got to let me know, because I won't know otherwise. I'm not, fucking mind man telepathic or whatever. So I would love to hear from you guys, video responses, comments, requests, questions, anything like that. I get lots of that, and I love to give you guys feedback, including if you guys have projects or anything like that. I'll give you guys feedback. And that's it. So look forward to some macrame jewelry kind of tutorials for the next little while, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
So these are the items that you're going to need. You need a clipboard, clips, ruler. I'm going to be measuring in inches for this demonstration. Scissors, crochet cord size 10, needle and a needle threader, beads size medium. And this is what I mean. The two on the far left are small. You need a size medium for the size crochet cord we're using. And a needle, you want to look for a large eye and a blunted tip. Now, I'm using the needle threader to actually bead the beads onto the crochet cord. And it's a lot easier because the size of the crochet cord and the size of the beads are the right size. But if I were to try and do one bead at a time, the edge really frays because the hole is so tight. And every time you try to bead one bead, that edge gets unraveled every time. And good luck trying to get 40 to 30 on at a time. So here are the planning stages. You need 3 inches on the edge of both sides for our adjustable closer. And the actual width that's going around your arm is minus 1 inch. That 1 inch is actually the adjustable part. So for a girl, it's 7 inches, and for a guy, it's 8 inches. And you can adjust this according to whether you're making for a child or someone who has Dothraki man warrior hands or whatever. And so that's what it's going to look like when it's all close up. And you guys will see that at the end. I'll walk you through the whole step. So when you start, you knot off the very edge. And I'm using some yarn to illustrate this so that you guys know how to go about knotting everything and measuring and all the good stuff. And I will show you how to make a full square knot. So I've knotted the end, and now I've knotted again, and I'm making sure that it's exactly 3 inches. And every time you knot, it takes off a little bit of the length. So when you're making your full length for your cord, I actually end up measuring 40 inches long for each strand, and I'm going to be using 8. So now I'm going to walk you guys through how to do a square knot. So the 2 in the center are called fillers, and you have 4 cords. Now you can have 3, but we're using 4. The left over the middle, which is the fillers. You take your right cord over that edge, behind the fillers, and a behind again through that little loop that is the left cord. So that's 1/2 of a square knot, and now we're going to do the reverse. You're going to take your right cord over the fillers. Yep, the right, not the left this time. Take your left over that edge, behind the fillers, and the behind through the loop. That was the right cord, and that is a full square knot. Half a knot or half knots, is when you're only picking one side, to the left or the right, and you keep repeating half of that knot. And you can actually create a spiral that way. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you guys just how it kind of looks with complete square knots. Now each time we do one, we're only going to be doing one square knot. So you're going to knot the edge. In this case, I've knotted once and then divided my 8 cords into 2, so 4 on each side, and knotted them again right next to that second knot. And I'm going to pinch between them on the clipboard. I'm going to separate them. So I'm going to separate all the cords how they naturally fall, and I'm going to put 40 beads on the very outside, so that's how they naturally fall, and I'm going to put 30 on the 2 on the inside. So 40 right there on both the far left and the far right, and on the middle I'm putting 30. So our first set of square knots requires that we take the 2 middle strands and we push up 1 bead from the left and 1 bead from the right. But before I do that, I'm going to do one of these little knots that I can actually take apart, and by that I mean just pull and it'll come undone. And I'm going to be marking the cords. It's the third one from the left and the third one from the right. So you got your 2 middle cords that we had 30 beads on, which are going to be your fillers for this square knot, and I'm going to mark them that way. This is just my preference, you don't have to, but I don't like it twisting and stuff when I'm doing this. So now I'm going to push up 2 beads, and I'm taking those 2 strings that I just marked, and I'm going to start doing my square knot. So we're going to be doing 3 sets of square knots. You're going to be taking half, the middle half of both sides together, and then you're going to be separating them again, a left set and a right set of 4 cords each, and you're going to be doing another set of square knots. So 3 each. You start in the middle, and then you do 1 for the left and 1 for the right. So now that I've finished doing a square knot with beads for the middle, I'm going to separate them again. So 4 on the right, I'm pushing those aside. I'm putting 2 beads from the very far left, and now I'm going to take those outside cords. Those 2 cords in the middle are going to be fillers, and I'm going to do another set of square knots. I'm going to repeat this on the right side. So now I'm just going to keep repeating that, the middle and then the left and right. It doesn't matter if you do the left or the right and then the left. You just do those 3 sections and you keep going until you have a full 6 inches for girls and 8 inches for guys. And of course, you can play with the different kinds of beads and color combinations. I'm using blue and white / silver. It's like a clear with silver on the inside so that you guys can see the contrast, but there are so many different permutations, and you guys can do this a lot wider if you want. When it comes to your closure though, I'm going to try and see about doing a big wide flag version of this, like a Canadian flag or something like that, just so that I can experiment with doing like the different permutations and colors and stuff. And I'm going to have to of course fiddle with the different kinds of closures, because once you get wider, it's going to be harder to combine it all into one strand that will be adjustable, because it's so wide. It'll end up making it like fold and everything. Another permutation you can explore is, instead of having a whole bunch of beads on the inside, just do 1 or 2 sets of square knots. You take a thread and a needle, so the thread is going to be threaded through the needle, and you guys have it sharp enough so that you guys could use like your micro beads and have it so that it's chunky. So like say a big chunky kind of square shell, and then you could have like a little turquoise or something, so kind of like it's a big chunky charm bracelet. So those are the kind of things that I really want to experiment with and create new ideas for you guys to, you know, enjoy. I personally don't have time to start making these. I did around Christmas time, and it was really time consuming. It's a lot more efficient for me to just figure out all the patterns and stuff and just put it out there for you guys to enjoy. And, you know, if you want to go sell it, I'm not going to judge or anything. So on our final stages, I'm measuring for a girl, and it's a 6 inches. So now I'm going to take my 4 strands on my left, knot that really close to the edge, and repeat again for the right. Now I'm going to combine all 8 strands and knot them together. It's kind of reverse of what we started. And then I'm going to measure 3 inches for our edge. And before I do that, just to make sure all the edges aren't tangled and everything, I'm going to take off the remainder of the beads that I did not use. I always put on extra, that way I don't have to do it right in the middle of when I'm, you know, making my bracelet. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to cut off the edge, and the longest string that's left, I'm actually going to take that set aside, and we're going to use that for making our adjustable closures. So you're going to need your blunted needle and your clips. So I'm matching up these 2 knots as roughly as I can. And now I'm going to clip it like so to my clipboard, and I'm just going to do a little, how do we say this, like just tie it around your 2 sets of edges, and you're just going to do 8 sets of square knots. And don't make it too tight, because not only are we going to be backtracking, but if you make it too tight, it's going to be hard to open and close your bracelet because it is going to be adjustable. So now I'm going to thread my needle, and I'm just going to put a little excess and like so, and I'm going to put it between my fingers because I need all that extra cord to backtrack. So I'm going through 2 right now. I'm going back through the first 2 and another 2. So you go through 4, back through 2. And that's how you backtrack. So you just keep going until you reach the edge. And if for any reason you have to like alternate between sides, and of course it's very dim light, so I'm actually looking at the screen on my camera like not even like 5 inches in front of my face because I can't see. But this is how you want to keep doing it. You just want to keep doing it to the edge. So you keep flipping between each side if you need to, like to the left, to the right. And then for your other cord, you just flip it to the other side if there's not enough room. And that's just how you do the 8 strand. So if you guys have any requests, again, I would love to hear from you guys. Any kind of video responses, questions, requests, anything. I love to talk with you guys. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys all next week. Bye. Or actually 2 weeks from now, because I do it every other